And your next comic, please warmly welcome Mr. Jason Martin. Jason Martin.
Hello. I have to admit, I got up this morning and I was asking myself, why am I doing this again? Oh yeah, I didn't get enough love as a child. I'm an 80's child. I grew up in a small town called Campbell River. It was a real rough and tumble town. You know, and when you were growing up in the 80's there, you had to be tough. You had to be a fighter. On my first day of kindergarten, my mom said, life is hard. Then she gave me a bologna sandwich, a Mickey of vodka, and a mouth guard. And you know, growing up in the 80's, we didn't have any of these helicopter parenting that you see today. No, you had to fend for yourself. I remember quite vividly, maybe a week before kindergarten was about to start, I got my head stuck in the banister, you know, between the spindles of the staircase. My parents handed me Vaseline and said, let's see how good you are at solving puzzles. You know, growing up gay in the 80's, it really took its toll on me. And I think it was a big reason I was a bedwetter well into my early teens. But now, at almost 45, I have terrible insomnia. And I would give anything to sleep so soundly that I piss myself. But you know, the one thing I really liked about growing up in the 80's is, yes, parenting was a little substandard, but at least we got to eat and drink what we wanted. None of this organic crap that everyone's feeding their kids these days. I remember quite vividly, in grade school, our moms would pack us these juice boxes, and right on the label, it would proudly advertise, 10% real juice. 10%. Which is really the same as saying 90%, the frick if we know. But you know, as kids, we loved it. Our lips would glow like bright purple or green for hours. We would stick our tongue out in the mirror just to see the effects. Hey Charlie, what flavor did you get? Mine says Chernobyl. But by the time I got to junior high school, I was a 90-pound weakling, and I just hated gym class. And I was always looking for a way to get out of it. And when I hit maybe like grade 7 or 8, I noticed that the girls started to get excused from gym class, and they would bring in notes from their parents. And one day, Teresa Cameron, she dropped her note, and I discreetly grabbed it and thought, I can forge this. I snuck off to the handicap washroom, pen and paper in hand, and I began to copy the note, replacing her name with mine. Dear Mr. Kosnichek, unfortunately, Jason Martin will not be able to attend gym class today as he is experiencing severe menstrual cramps. True story. Karen A. Martin. You know, before I go here, the 80's, it was, in some ways, it was a simpler time. But it was also a naive decade. I mean, there were serious problems on the rise. Teenage pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, and yet much of our pop music of the era turned a complete blind eye to it all. And before I go, I'm going to sing a bit of a song. I will warn you, I am not a singer at all. But I want to make a point. Any Bangles fans in the audience? I was a closet Bangles fan. Eternal Flame. Me. Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Wait for it. Is this burning an internal flame? Is this burning an internal flame? If it's burning, it's probably chlamydia. And in that case, I really hope I don't feel the same. But then in the last verse, she's still in denial. Say my name, sun shines through the rain, a whole life so lonely, won't you come and ease the pain? Actually, the only thing that's going to ease your pain at this point, a 7-day cycle of antibiotics. Thank you. That's all I got tonight.